that. So I began as a poor black child. No, as I mentioned before, my name is Stephanie Summerville. Before I came to Holland America Line in 2019, I was an actress, singer, storyteller, voiceover artist, and worked for many, many years in television, film, radio, stage, production. I spent 23 years in New York City. And I am most known for my work with The Moth and the Moth Radio Hour on National Public Radio. So it's an interesting story how I came to be here on ships, because I started out my career, first of all, I studied to be a Shakespearean actor, and I was so dedicated to Shakespeare that I decided to go live in a castle in England and study Shakespeare with a teacher from the Shakespeare Institute. That is how hardcore I was.
Woo!
And from there, I finished my education in London at the British American Drama Academy. I had extraordinary teachers back at the time when they were celebrities in England, but they were not crazy famous like they were today. So I had teachers like Sir Derek Jacobi, Jeremy Irons, and Fiona Shaw prominently. And that is where, between them and my teachers that I had later at Juilliard for diction, I am so grateful to them, because that is why I have the extraordinary voice that I have today. It was partly talent, but it was largely the discipline of these incredible teachers that I had that started me on my career. So when I finally graduated from Sarah Lawrence College, spent 23 years in New York City, and towards the end of that 23 years, I had a roommate. His name was Frankie, and Frankie worked as a cruise director on the original Love Boat. So if you remember the TV show, that actual boat, that was Frankie's ship. And he was my roommate. And at this point in his career, he had retired from that, and he plays all of the crazy. Anytime you see a cameo by a crazy homeless man with long hair, anything that looks like Gandalf, but they're shorter and crazier, that is probably my roommate Frankie, because he is in every show for everything that requires a crazy old homeless man with long hair. And so Frankie came to me one day and he said, "Steph, I saw this job at Holland America Line for a cruise and travel director." He said, "I don't know what that is, but I have been a cruise director, and it looks like this fits you." And I said, "Frankie, I am an actor. I do not do what you do, and I'm not Julie from the Love Boat." And he said, "Okay." So 2.5 weeks later, after that, I get a phone call from the operations manager for entertainment shoreside at Holland America Line. And they said, "We've seen your TED Talks, we've seen your Moth performances, and we've seen a bunch of other stuff that you've done. Would you mind come auditioning for us on Holland America Line?" And I turned to Frankie and I said, "Frankie?" And it turned out that Frankie applied for this job for me. So I was really mad, but then the man on the phone said, "We'll take you on a cruise and audition you while you're on the cruise. Are you good with that?" And I thought to myself, well, I've never set foot on a ship before, so that's a bonus, and I'm used to auditions, but they never happen on a cruise ship. So I went and did this thing on the cruise ship, and it was, I tell you, our audition was like Hunger Games meets the Love Boat. That was no joke. Like during the day, we had all of this training and practice, and then in the evening, we would get to experience the ship, which is extraordinary. I had never been on a cruise ship before. And so it really is a breathtaking, and to get to see nature and everything, and just all the incredible stuff that happens on a cruise ship. And then the next morning we would wake up and then there would be a person missing and no one would discuss it. And you're like, we found out they'd been cut from the program, and I said, "Where did they go? We are on a ship." But nobody would talk about it. So at the end of that, I ended up having a job, and that is how I came here. So that's pretty much my history and how I got here. So, and it's been an extraordinary